Welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We're going through and coming up with some really cool ideas for the holidays for those geeks in your lives. For those who know me and have kind of really paid attention to the site, you know that I love games and gaming as much as I love comic books. In fact, probably gaming is really close second, if not maybe edges out at some times. I've worked at a game store for quite a long time, and particularly one of the types of games I love is miniature games. I'm admittedly die-hard Games Workshop fan. I've played their games for, at this point, 20-something years. Worked for them for a little while. I love my miniatures games. I have massive amounts of them. So you gotta imagine I was super excited when I found out that Night Models didn't just do comic-related miniatures and models, but they actually have a game that goes along to it. Yeah, so Night Models has Batman, the miniature game. It's a game that allows you to play as some of your favorite Batman villains and heroes on the tabletop. And they've got an amazing line of miniatures. I've seen their lines of miniatures for years now at conventions. I had no idea that there was actually a miniature game, and then I stumbled across it online, reached out to them, and they hooked me up with the book to show off, as well as 2 packs with 2 forces. So this is just the first of a couple videos I'm going to be putting together, not just to show stuff off. We're actually going to do a game down the road. I want, of course, paint stuff up. I want it to be presentable. Though it's been years since I've painted, hopefully my skill won't be too embarrassing. Basically, the game is, it allows you to build up your force. You use this thing called reputation, which is like points, and then dollars to buy equipment based off of the reputation. You build your force and you battle it out on the tabletop. Now, the miniatures are about 30 to 40 millimeter in scale, but the scale doesn't matter a whole lot as far as the figures. The thing that really impresses me with the game itself is not only does it present the rules really well, but they clearly have worked with DC Comics to use art in the book. I mean, this is a miniature game for folks who not just love miniature games and gaming, but also love Batman and the villains and heroes within. I mean, they're using art directly from that has been found in DC Comics. The miniatures themselves are absolutely gorgeous. They've got tons of painted examples. And another thing that I think that's really cool about the game, they probably don't praise it enough themselves, is that they give you tons of different versions of the characters. So if you like Ra's al Ghul, you can get Ra's al Ghul from Arkham City. You can get Ra's al Ghul that was in the Dark Knight trilogy. There's Talia al Ghul. There's Nisa al Ghul, who is in Arrow. Bane, there's different versions of Bane that exist. Whether or not they really make a difference in the game, I haven't dived too much into it to find out. But, if you want one type of version, you can get it. If you want another version, you can get that. There's multiple versions of the Joker. There's the Heath Ledger version. There's a kind of a Joker that's more akin to Arkham City or the comic books. Batman, there's some amazing Batman figures. I'll show that off to folks. So not only do you have Arkham City versions, you have Dark Knight Rises version, there's Arkham Origins version, there's a Batman Adam West version, and the one that I love the most is the Frank Miller Batman miniature. It's absolutely amazing, completely gorgeous, and just stunning. You don't have to just play as Batman, you can play as all his friends. There's multiple versions of Robin, of course Tim Drake, Damian Wayne, there's Batwoman, Huntress, Black Canary, Speedy, Green Arrow, Batgirl, Nightwing. Pretty much, if it's a Batman character, you can play as it. There's also, Jim Gordon, so you can play as the GCPD. You can play as Joker's crew, Penguin's crew, Bane's crew. Just tons of options. Two-Face has his army. Of course, there's the League of Assassins. And then there's just general prisoners. Poison Ivy, Clayface. They're all here, basically. Killer Croc, Solomon Grundy. Even if you go on the Night Models website, there is figures for Watchmen that you can use. We've got Black Mask, Deathstroke, multiple versions of Deathstroke. So, really, just lots and lots and lots of options. Well, the thing that I like, it's not just the miniature game, but it gives you a history of Batman. It's got the cool art. It really dives into the characters. dives into the characters themselves with some cool history on top of the rules. This is really just, it's top notch. The quality of the game and the production is unreal. You can't really tell on here, but the cover of this game is slightly raised, so there's just this nice texture to it of where Batman's cape is. Just the quality of the book itself is absolutely amazing. Now, Night Models hooked us up with 2 boxes featuring Black Mask crew and the Penguins crew, so that's going to be who I'm going to be painting up and playing as down the road. First, I need to paint stuff. So what's nice is they got these clamshells, so you can always put them right back in. But speaking of rules, what's nice and cool is they come with the rules of the figures that you're getting. So not only do you get the clamshell to help carry them all, but you get everything you need to know on the figures within that. So it's really handy, it's really cool, it's a very smart idea. So you not have to worry about getting books that have expansions and rules for certain factions. You get all that. You get that all with the miniatures you get. So, and you purchase. So we've got Penguin, we got Penguin's crew. Over here we have Black Mask and his crew. So the rules all come with it. It seems like it's a lot of fun game. From everything I've read so far, there's nothing that really stands out to me that's different or strange or weird compared to a lot of the other miniature games out there. It's pretty standard stuff when it comes to that. It's just in the Batman world, so there's things that you need to worry about or think about, like batarangs and being able to do things with grappling hooks and cool things like that. It really seems to capture the flavor of Batman really, really well. It's the example they show off, which I think is absolutely gorgeous, is a fight between Batman and the Joker and in the Joker's Funland. So really cool. I can't wait to dive in and play and really get this game down, because I'm so excited for it. This is a miniature line that I want to get everything. There's not one figure that I haven't noticed that isn't gorgeous to stare at. I will also say, if folks are looking for Marvel figures, Night Models also does a fantastic line of figures based off Marvel Comics. They do have both DC and Marvel in different scales, so I think there's a 60 millimeter scale, much better for displays and stuff like that. So you can get those. The company is over in Europe, so you got to worry about conversions and buying things in Euro for those are in the States. But you can find them on some various websites out there. We will have links underneath the video for you to purchase some of this stuff at. It's top notch. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm beyond impressed with what I've seen so far. I can't wait to paint all this up and get some gaming on. So we're going to have a gameplay down the road, but as a really cool gift idea and something I think most folks won't expect because most don't know it exists, is this Batman miniature game by Night Models. Great for folks that that are into miniature wargaming, gaming in general, and love comic books, especially Batman. Top-notch stuff. I think it's really, really neat. Definitely look at it for the holidays as a gift idea. The prices, of course, vary just because of them being in Europe, so I've found prices all over the place. And of course, we'll have links underneath the video to help you out. Thanks for watching. This has been Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. You can find us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy. Keep it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep rolling those die and keep it geeky.